into it any more than that. We're just looking at this picture here. But as usual, Peter is portrayed as a stumble-bum loser. I know you don't maybe like that way of describing it, but I do it for the sake of making it as stark as I can. A stumble-bum loser. He draws his sword, he does what? Jesus, he has his sword, he doesn't understand Jesus' message of returning good for evil. He doesn't understand that Jesus doesn't arm his followers. He's standing at the fire and they ask him questions about Jesus and he denies him 3 times. I mean, is that a very positive picture of the future leader of the early church? No, I don't think so. I think it's meant to detract from him. You say, what do you mean detract? That's the way he was, wasn't he? No, I don't think he was this. Someone said to me, what's it, the Federal Security Services of Russia, what FSA or something like that it's called? The new KGB? What do they call the FS something? They never do anything without, or say anything, without a message being attached to it. So, for instance, someone was talking about the poisoning of this guy in London with atomic poison. And they were saying, come on, get real. That's a very rare isotope. It can only, takes a long time to manufacture. It's very valuable. There's not much of it. They could have killed that guy in 1 minute. They have all kinds of ways to kill him just with a prick of something with an umbrella. Don't you think they want him to hang around and agonize for 3 weeks like that so all the world would watch it? And what's the message they're sending out by this? They're sending out a message. What's the message? We have loose nuclear material. You should know that we are not controlling all our nuclear material. We are smuggling nuclear material overseas and we can smuggle a lot more and stuff like that. And you should be afraid because we can have your cities blown up if we want. Look, we can do this guy with little nuclear material. We can smuggle a lot more out and give it to the wrong people and whole cities will go up. I don't mean to frighten you, but I think that's what's going on in the world in terms of threats. We like to just carry on. It's Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming, good cheer to all. And we're sitting here like in the crosshairs and we don't even know it because we don't want to know it, we just want to live. You can't live like that worrying about in the crosshairs, but yeah, we're in the total crosshairs. And one day you're going to look out that window there if something doesn't happen pretty soon, and you're going to see that whole place go up right in front of your eyes, and you might go up with it. The Russians are telling you that. That's what this guy is saying. So there's nothing that is said in a lot of things without a message, and often in literature, when you're creating literature or other messages. And I think here, the message is this is written by enemies of Peter. People who don't like his position, and so on. People who realize in Galatians that Peter was supporting the James group. Maybe they don't know that 3 centuries later, Peter is going to become the rock of the church and the whole thing upon which the church is built. They may not know that at this point. The struggle is already still in progress, but the point is that Peter does get Paulinized in Acts when he gets the tablecloth vision, and he learns not to distinguish between holy and profane. He misunderstands the master's message there too, and Paul's people have to teach him the real truth. Paul, who persecuted Christians unto death, who never saw the Messiah in his lifetime, he knows more about Jesus than Peter does. That makes me laugh, frankly. I mean, if I were a Christian, or if I cared about things, sure, I like the faith, and it's a beautiful construction, but these things that I'm supposed to accept, that Paul knows more, that would just make me burst out with hilarious laughter. Paul can't know more than the people who were with Jesus his whole lifetime. What are you calling all these people idiots? Who are ineffectual stumble-bums? Yeah, that's what this is saying to some extent. These people are not up to Jesus' level, and we accept that. I don't accept that. I think these people were up to his level, and they were good Essenes, and they were sincere people, and I think that literature has done them badly. Now, that's a really tough statement, but I'm retiring in a week, so it doesn't make any difference. Yeah.
I just think it's an interesting parallel, though. You can almost the characteristic of like Moses with Peter as being, ineffectual.
Well, that literature too has an edge. That has to do with trying to downplay the priesthood, upgrade the priesthood. The fact that Aaron constructs the golden calf. You really think Aaron constructed a golden calf in the wilderness? The same deal? Of course not. That's a way of attacking the priesthood for practices in the later temple, and they take it back to the Moses period. You don't understand the way literature functions. You take literature at face value. Literature doesn't function always at face value. Maybe face value if you think they knew what happened in the wilderness camp 10 centuries before. No, this is attacks pro and anti-Aaron. I don't have time to do that. So I can't go into the arguments because otherwise I'll just not be able to get to the end of the class. I would like to be able to do that if we had a lot more time, seminar or something. But I can tell you this is what we do in the Old Testament class. We show that with the rod, Moses is a stumble bum. He can't speak. He needs Aaron to come out and do all the miracles for him and speak for him. What's that? That's the people trying to promote their ancestor, Aaron, the progenitor of the priesthood over the prophet. And then, so they're going back and forth with the staff, and sometimes Aaron's doing it, sometimes Moses is doing it, throwing the staff down, making it into a snake, etc., 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 doing all these things in front of Pharaoh and so on. And then suddenly you find Moses can do it all himself. He doesn't need Aaron. So how come Aaron had to come out in the first place anyway? That's just the priesthood insinuating their hero Aaron into the heroic Mosaic text. And then vice versa then, the portrayal as Aaron constructing the golden calf is the other people attacking the Aaron figure. I mean, you got to understand how these things work, but you guys are so wedded to the external plot line and I say superficial picture of the historical presentation that you don't see the forces, like I just said, operating beneath it. I thought Putin was responsible for the killing of this guy in England, right? That's the obvious thing. And then the Russian experts say, no, wait. Yeah, he doesn't like him. He'd want to get rid of him, but this is the wrong time. And if he wanted to do it, he wouldn't have done it like that, so he can bring all this disapprobation on himself. It's people who are more hardline than Putin, wanting to make Putin look bad. Well, those are interesting hypotheses. I don't know if they're all true or not, but you have to think about what things mean. What are the writers trying to convey to you? When the writers show Peter questioning, should I go